There are so many names and figures and terms that relates to the Middle East. Iran, Iraq, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, Gaza Strip, Hamas, the West Bank, Israel. All of these are names, terms that you know somehow, but do you really?
My name is Avi Melamed. I'm an Israeli Jew. I was born and raised in Jerusalem. At the age of 29, in my role as the deputy and then advisor on Arab affairs to two mayors of Jerusalem, I found myself at the forefront during one of the most complex and violent chapters in the history of Jerusalem, the Intifada. My mission was to restore trust between the Arab residents of Jerusalem and the authorities. It was a unique opportunity to act in a mission of hope in times of despair in a city that is part of me and I'm part of.
I believe that the essence of education is to teach people how to think, not what to think. The most significant thing in that context is to understand the context, the players that are involved, the sequence of the events, and the envelope.
Jerusalem is an issue that will always spark fire. It's been an issue that it's a card, it's a pawn that's being used by different factors, not only the Palestinians or the Israelis or the Jews, by the Iranians.
The Iranians are basically basing their expansion policy in the region based upon a triangle that has three components. One is the nuclear program, the other one is the armies, the proxies, the other and the third one is the missiles and the drones. And as part of the Iranian hegemonic vision plan, in which Hamas and Islamic Jihad plays very significant role, the Iranians are trying to establish what we call the ring of fire, namely surrounding Israel from three different arenas, Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza Strip, with militants and proxies that are supposed to attack simultaneously the state of Israel.
Hamas launched the war on October 7 under the impression that this is the day where the ring of fire is going to be finally activated. They were wrong.
زعيم حزب الأربعة يلعب بالنار لأنه هو بيجوز يفتح النار أو يطلق أول طلقة لكنه لن يعلم كيف ينتهي هذا الأمر. يعني بيجوز أن أول طلقة الرصاص بهذا الحوار سيؤدي إلى حرب مفتوح وذلك الحرب سيؤدي إلى انهيار تام وشامل للبنان وكذلك لحزب الله. By signing the Abraham Accords, we, the Arab world, your brothers, we are actually forcing you, the Palestinians, to start making some independent decisions. Where do you want to go? You should take responsibility for your path. This is the message that comes from the Arab world to the Palestinians.
Those states are looking for valuable partners that could be benefit to their own strategic interests. And when they look around in the neighborhood, they see Iran, they see Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, and Islamic Jihad that also present an enormous threat. We want to create conditions of stability. And when they look around, they see a player in the Middle East that is called Israel. So it's not about love affair. It's about a long-term strategic interest, and that is something that results in what we saw, this rapprochement between Israel and Arab states, the Abraham Accords, the Israeli-Saudi rapprochement.
Why did Hamas wage that war? And that has to be looked in the context of the normalization and particularly the recent talks between Israel and Saudi Arabia is one interesting aspect. The other interesting aspect has to be viewed in the context of the power struggle between Hamas on the one hand and Palestinian Authority on the other hand. Hamas vows to be the leader of the Palestinian. I think there was a part of misconcept in the West in general, because in the West, the emphasis was constantly on the story of the Iranian nuclear project. I have been saying that for many years, that to a large extent, the story of the Iranian nuclear issue was a smokescreen. And we see this bitter fruit of what's going on right now in front of our face.
Joining us now, Avi Melamed, former Israeli intelligence officer.
If the Iranian regime will choose to take that path, the Iranian regime is very vulnerable.
Many Arab analysts are basically talking about Israel as Dalia called the agenda setter. I have a different perspective.
It's a little bit ironic. You know, there are circles today in the West that chant the slogan, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They think that by echoing that, they are basically echoing Hamas' objective. They are wrong. If you will continue to exempt Hamas from responsibility, the outcome will be more death, more destruction for both Israelis and Palestinians. Israelis and Palestinians cannot really reach an agreement by themselves. It has to be done in what I call the frame of a regional envelope.
There is a very common narrative that says the Israeli-Palestinian conflict shapes the Middle East. But I'm saying it's the other way around. The Middle East shapes the trajectory of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Since I came here, I started seeing how the American society sees the Arabs and the Muslims. And I was very depressed because people are using documented information that is not true. They are documented, but they are not true. So this is the first talk and the first vision that I heard from you now. This is the most comprehensive and objective and mostly accurate vision of what's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please keep spreading it wide.